guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm super excited to be doing a hair care routine video for you today. I have had a lot of requests for this throughout my time making videos on YouTube, and also I feel like just hair care is one of those things that I'm really passionate about. I used to work at a salon. I've got like several years of experience in it, and it's just something I fell in love with. So I love to share my tips and tricks for how to grow long and healthy hair, and that's what you're probably here for. Disclaimer, I do have extensions in, and that will also be worked into the video, but my hair is generally like about this long, and I also just wanted to share like my tips and tricks with you guys. So if you're new to my channel, then I want to say welcome. My name's Olivia. I'm so excited to have you here. I really appreciate you giving my video a try, and I hope you enjoy. So again guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through my whole hair care process, and that includes the night before, a deep conditioning mask, what shampoo and conditioner I use, how I dry my hair, and then what I do afterwards to style it. So this is super in-depth. I'm not going to focus on the styling too much because it's more about the hair care. So without further ado, let's just get into the hair care video. So I'm starting out this video with a mask. So my absolute favorite thing to use for a hair mask is coconut oil. Coconut oil has so many benefits to it. It really helps with moisturizing, but it also helps protect from damage. It is like the #1 thing I use when my hair is feeling dry or kind of brittle, or it just feels damaged from coloring or heat, whatever it may be. Coconut oil is like my savior. So this is the kind I use. This is just the 365 brand. I got it at Whole Foods. Typically you can go for like any coconut oil, although I would recommend going for an extra virgin coconut oil because you want one that's not processed. You don't want that extra like additives or anything like that in there. So I will go for as virgin as possible a coconut oil, but you can typically get it at like any grocery store. By just rubbing it through your hands, that will actually add enough warmth to heat up and melt the coconut oil. So I'll rub it through my hands and then I start working it through my hair. I put the coconut oil all throughout my hair, like from root to end. I really focus on the ends to make sure that I'm getting the bulk of my moisture throughout there, just because that's the area where my hair tends to be the most dry. But I'll also make sure to put it on my roots and the top of my head too. Simply because I color my hair, so if you think about it, when I'm getting highlights or anything like that, it's damaging the top of my hair as well. So I want to make sure that I focus there too. While I'm in there, I will take the coconut oil and really work it through my hair and onto the roots of my hair, as well as my scalp. So if you focus on your scalp and really work through that area, it can actually get circulation moving, which will then promote hair growth. So I like to massage my scalp, usually for a few minutes at a time, and by doing so with the coconut oil, that will then promote that circulation. It's a great tip I have to grow your hair, and if you think about it, you're paying more attention to it, you're being just more like delicate and focused in that area, so naturally it's kind of going to get your blood flowing and just going to get that area stimulated. Once I have the coconut oil all over my hair, and like I said, I really like to just soak it and really get my hair like completely oily, I'll then just put it up in a bun, like wrap it up really messy. It doesn't matter if it's like cute and polished or whatever, but I'll wrap it up in a bun and I just sleep with it overnight. Now you can put coconut oil on your hair and use a mask for however long you'd like. It doesn't have to be overnight. If I'm crunched on time or if I just don't feel like sleeping in it, sometimes I'll put it on and leave it on for an hour or so, but you want to make sure you're giving it at least enough time to just really soak in and get that moisture throughout your hair. So this time I ended up putting it on and leaving it overnight, but like I said, sometimes I'll do just an hour or two depending on what my day is looking like. Then the next day comes the hair washing. Also, before I get into that, I just want to mention that I will do a coconut oil mask as often as possible. If I'm able to, I like to do one every single time I wash my hair. It's a little excessive, but typically like once a week is good as well. But for me personally, I find that using it every time I wash my hair just helps with that like dry, damaged feeling. So when I'm washing my hair, Aveda products are my go-to. I have talked several times about Aveda. I know they can be somewhat expensive depending on what your spendiness level is. They are about like 30 bucks or so each, which in my opinion is not bad for proper hair care. What's great about them is that they're 97% naturally derived, so they're made from plant-based ingredients. They're really great for you. They don't have those preservatives and those chemicals that your typical like drugstore shampoo and conditioner can often have. So you know that they're going to be gentle on your hair and do what it's supposed to. They have a whole line depending on what your need is, so you could find like smoothing shampoo and conditioner, you could find adding texture or just refreshing your hair. The two that I prefer to use are Color Conserve and Damage Remedy. There's also a dry remedy, which I'll kind of work in there occasionally, but but Damage Remedy and Color Conserve are like the perfect concoction that just works for my hair. So I like to use the Aveda Color Conserve shampoo, and then I'll use the Damage Remedy conditioner. That's like my go-to combo. I also really like the Joico K-Pack shampoo. I've been using that a lot lately, and it's another one that will be like my backup to work in with my Aveda products. The Joico just gives me a really clean, like all over feeling. I love that sudsy feeling, and it will give me that. But Joico just gets my hair super clean, and it also protects it with the K-Pack line. So I'll use the Aveda shampoo and conditioner or Joico depending on how I'm feeling. And while I'm scrubbing, I'll do the same thing, focusing on my scalp and really make sure that I'm shampooing all over, but also paying attention to my scalp and doing that same massage technique there. When I'm applying conditioner as well, I'll let it sit on for like 10 to 15 minutes. I typically wash my hair first, and I'll do a couple rounds of shampoo if I do the coconut oil mask, just because it may take that to get all of the oil out. But I'll do shampoo and conditioner, and then I'll let the conditioner sit on my hair for like 10 to 15 minutes while I'm doing everything else in the shower. So while I'm washing my face, or I'm shaving, or I'm just sudsing up all over, or exfoliating, I'll make sure that I have conditioner on my hair during that period. I also focus conditioner in the same manner that I focus coconut oil, so I make sure to get it all over, but primarily throughout the ends of my hair. With conditioner, I don't want it to sit on the top of my hair as much because that can cause it to be weighed down. But I will, however, put it on a couple areas of damage that I have up here. For example, like I said, when I get highlights, I may have like a little bit of damage throughout here. So I'll put just like a little bit of that conditioner there, but I don't focus it on my scalp, and I don't focus conditioner primarily on the top half of my hair because I don't want it to give that heavy weighed down feeling. So with conditioner, I'll work it through the bottom half, through the roots of my hair, let it sit there for 10 to 15 minutes, and then wash it out. Once I'm out of the shower, there are also a couple key products that I use to take care of my hair. First and foremost is my microfiber towel. Now, if I'm not washing my hair and I'm just putting it up, which I will often do because I don't like to wash my hair every day, I will typically do like every 3 days, I use a shower cap because that's what prevents my hair from getting kind of like humid and frizzy. It just keeps the texture the same. You definitely don't have to, but for me, I like to use a shower cap on days that I'm not washing my hair. If I am washing my hair and it's really wet, I will first not use the towel on my hair. I make sure to take my hair to the side and like squeeze it out like this, because when you use a towel and you really shake it all over, that's just promoting more damage throughout your hair. That's just like getting the hair particles and follicles to really like frizz up. So I like to take my hands and just gently squeeze one at a time like this to get the excess water out. And then I will use a microfiber towel. So my microfiber towel is like my holy grail of hair care. It is so gentle on your hair. It's so much better than a regular towel. And I love that you can just like throw your hair up really easily in it. So I will put my head upside down, put the microfiber towel on, wrap it up, and I'll leave it there for like 10 or 15 minutes while I'm putting lotion on and stuff like that, because that will just kind of soak up any excess moisture while I'm already like getting out of the shower. Once I'm ready to take the towel off, I will take off that towel, and the first thing I do is use some sort of detangler. It just makes it much easier to comb through your hair. You really don't want to be pulling on tangles to try and comb your hair because that is also just going to prevent more damage. So the first thing I'll do is use a detangler to make it a smoother transition to brush out my hair. My favorite to use is also Aveda. It's from their Brilliant line, which is great for more textured, just thicker hair. But it's called the Brilliant Damage Control. What's awesome about this is that it is not only a detangler, but it also prevents from UV damage. So it helps with heat protection. So I like to use this as soon as I get out of the shower, especially if it's a day that I'm going to be blow drying my hair, because it's kind of like a double whammy. It's a 2-for-1. This also just like generally makes it so much easier to brush out your hair. I have been using this for 7-8 years now, and I will not use any other kind of detangler. After that, I like to work through some sort of leave-in conditioner. So my favorite is also by Aveda. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but this is just what I use. But it's the Aveda Damage Remedy Leave-In Deep Conditioner. So this is called Daily Hair Repair. This stuff is amazing because it's clinically proven to reduce hair damage by up to 26% in just 1 use. I used to work for Aveda. It works so well. It's super lightweight. It's creamy, but it's not heavy. You don't need very much. Aveda products, because they're so natural, they're super concentrated, so you don't need a lot of product, which is great. They last a while. So I'll just put a little bit, and I will again work it through the bottom half section of my hair. This will just help with damage, it helps protect it from heat again, and it also just makes it generally healthier day to day. So that's the first thing I'll do, is use some form of like a leave-in deep conditioner like that. Then I also like to use an oil. So even though I will sleep in some sort of oil mask, I also like to use a daily oil to just, again, add more moisture to my hair. So typically I go back and forth between Moroccan oil and Aveda's oil. So Aveda has one by their Dry Remedy line, and it's just called like the Dry Remedy Daily Oil or something like that. It works really well. My bottle, I actually spilled it right before I filmed this video, so for the sake of this video, I'm using Moroccan oil this time. I get the Moroccan oil light because it's better for blonde hair, and I also feel like it's just a little less heavy on my hair, a little less greasy. So this is the one that I use. I love that it has a pump. It's really lightweight. Again, I will kind of go back and forth because I find that when I use an oil every day, or every time I wash my hair, when I use it consistently, my hair will get used to it and then it's not as effective. So I'll kind of switch it. I may use this for 2 or 3 times in a row, and then I'll use the other one for 2 or 3 times in a row. But those are the 2 oils that I mainly go back and forth between. Again, I will focus this mainly on the bottom ends of my hair. I don't put oil throughout my whole hair just because I really don't want it to have that like greasy feeling, especially when it's wet. Sometimes it's hard to see like how clean you actually got your hair. So I will focus it mainly on the ends. And then what I love about both of these oils is that they're great for if your hair is dry as well. So I will use them on my off days when I'm not shampooing and conditioning my hair, when my hair is not wet. I'll use it just to kind of like freshen up and get more of a smooth feeling, especially the Moroccan oil. This stuff is awesome for that. Then I use a wet brush to comb through my hair. I will never use any kind of brush other than a wet brush. They are so good. They're so great for helping with damage to your hair. I use that to comb through my hair, and then I will let it sit and air dry for as long as possible. You want your hair to be at least 80% dry naturally before you put any heat on it. That will just help protect it as well and really keep it so that you're not like overheating your hair. If you think about it, if your hair is really wet and really saturated with water, like overheating it is just gonna like really dry it out because that blow dryer is working so hard to get your hair dry. So I let my hair air dry for as long as possible, and then whenever I have to, time is requiring me to blow dry my hair, I will blow dry it the rest of the way. Typically though, on my daily routine, I like to just let my hair air dry completely, and then I have like a little bit of natural wave and I just kind of roll with it and let it go from there. I also don't like to use heat on my hair unless it's something special. If I am using heat on my hair, I will use, again, like I said, the blow dryer just towards the end of my hair drying, and then I'll also use a curling iron to just add a little bit of extra style to my hair. When I'm going all out, like somewhat of today, I didn't do my hair a ton today, but when I'm going all out, I like to use extensions. So I have a couple different brands that I use. My go-to is actually just from Sally's Beauty Supply, just the Euronext ones in the red box. They look like this. They're pretty affordable and they work pretty well. I've got a couple sets. It's just what's really easy for me. I love that I can just go to the store and pick them up. So I have a couple sets and I will just clip those in whenever I feel like I just need a little bit of extra length and a little bit of extra oomph. Then if I really want to style it, I'll use a curling wand to just add a couple of curls throughout and give it that really big wavy look that I love. That's kind of my go-to and the easiest routine that I use. I love that it's just like really like flexible. It will go with any look and it's super easy to just get done really quickly. And after that, I just kind of brush it out, let the waves fall, and go about my day. So that's everything that I do for my hair care routine video. If you guys have any tips, I would love to hear from you as well. I would love to hear what hair products you're using, so leave them in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some ideas and some tips for keeping your hair healthy. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know any other videos you guys would like to see. And otherwise, I will see you in my next one. Have a great day and thank you for watching. Bye.